apparently we just spent like 20 minutes talking about this, but basically, you know, I'll just start with this whole analysis with the idea that we just want to figure out what's going on with the MrBeast controversy. It's been going on for like 2 or 3 weeks. We haven't really been watching it. We've just kind of been seeing, headlines and stuff. But the first thing to say about this is it's not really serious. Like it's no big deal. No matter what, I think a lot of people just have like too much time on their hands. Ironically,
Yeah.
because people are sitting at their computer too much, and I've had this problem for years, and just trust me when I say that it's much better to get away from your computer and do something better with your life. But if you want to chill out every once in a while, it's fine too. But that's just to say that you know I get. I think we probably both agree on the idea that this is not a big
Yeah.
deal.
People put too much investment on things that they see online. Even though Mr. Beast is a personality online, people wrap themselves too much up into it.
He's
Like
a
people, I
personality,
think
but we've
generally,
seen many. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, we've seen many.
Sorry, go ahead.
I would suggest finding people that don't even know who Mr. Beast is because they're probably doing something right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think most of the people I speak to now wouldn't know who this person is. So,
Yeah, yeah,
even though he might seem like he's super popular and everything like that, but there's plenty of the world where people don't care about this. So I just used, I've gotten a little bit lazy over time. I've decided just to have ChatGPT, summarize the issues for us. We'll just go over the allegations and just figure out what's legit and what's not legit, and then I guess we'll just discuss them and just to see what's so let's go ahead. So the first thing is there's allegations against his collaborator, I guess. A significant issue arose from allegations against Ava Kris Tyson, a former collaborator who was accused of inappropriate conduct. So this led to her being tossed out of the project, I guess. I, I recall this was like a grooming thing or something, kind of creepy stuff. But I don't know. This sounds suspicious. Next one is the Beast Games controversy. This is the one that everyone probably heard about. This is the big one. So he was on, I guess he got his own Amazon Prime video show, Beast Games. Very, very creative. He's been criticized for unsafe working conditions during its filming phase. Reports highlighted issues such as inadequate food, medical care, and safety measures for contestants, some of which required hospitalization. So yeah, I heard this one's pretty legit. What about you?
yeah. That's pretty severe. I mean,
Yeah, so I mean, just from
it just
what it sounded
yeah.
like, a lot of people talked about this. They did say that they wouldn't get food. If someone like had uh, they had medical problems where they needed shots and they couldn't get them. Um, right? Am
Yeah,
I
it just
right?
sounds like he didn't have. Yeah, it sounds like he needs somebody on like the insurance, the liability
Like,
insurance, just to tell him like you need more than what you have. I mean, most
yeah,
shows, like you think of like a show like Survivor, will have like doctors and nurses
on
literally on
standby.
standby ready.
Yeah, I think I heard about this. So yeah, so the problem was that he didn't like he's used to a pretty small tight group where he can personally watch it. But apparently this time he kind of just didn't upgrade. So he's just from what I can tell, he's getting kind of like kind of greedy, like he's getting this big
Yeah,
contract, but he's not upping his game at all. Like you said, like you don't got anyone thinking about like what can happen. Like I mean, we'll discuss this later, but like this seems like a pretty solid accusation. Especially not. I guess this is like insulin shots. Like not giving someone their insulin shots. That's just fucked up. Like it just sounds fucked up, you know.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
It's like this pretty bad. Uh, Past comment. Okay, racially insensitive and homophobic comments. Although these remarks were from years ago, they've resurfaced, adding to the current controversy. So by itself, this wouldn't be anything. Uh, I'm not sure what to even say about this. It's like every YouTuber, right?
Yeah, everybody online. It's just you're gonna face it. Yeah, you know.
This one, allegations have also emerged regarding hiring a known sex offender, referred to as Delaware, for one of his videos. It was claimed that MrBeast was aware of this guy's past before hiring him.
And yeah, this I had no clue about, honestly.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about
Before
that.
bringing it up
Sounds
here,
weird.
yeah,
Sounds weird.
yeah, that's just weird. That's just weird.
And I guess then we also got Jake Weddle, former employee, creating a. So he accused him harsh work environment, extreme filming. I think this is the guy who wasn't allowed to sleep. He was sleep deprived. Right. That's what it
That
says
honest,
further.
so that honestly sounds more like number two, just like kind of an extension of number two,
So,
where he's just not thinking about
so
who
dude.
he has on his show.
So you mentioned before, like for this has been like illegal for 100 years. You know, you can't fucking just torture people with sleep deprivation. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, alphabet organizations do this pretty regularly. But I mean, you know, Mr.
you just gotta
Beast,
hide it well, and
you
you
know,
can't
he's
just make
just a
an
dude.
Amazon Prime video out of
Yeah, I mean,
it.
yeah, I'm just thinking like, just reading over these. I mean, we'll just ask GPT how legit these are, and then we'll kind of figure out like, 2 and 5 sounds really weird to me, let's say the least. Number one, it says that allegations were made public, and MrBeast did distance himself from Tyson, which is like an indirect proof that this is probably pretty legit. So accused of grooming and other inappropriate, it's pretty fucked up.
Mm, that's
So
pretty
I mean,
fucked
this
up.
is more or less like what we thought. This is like more likely true, but kind of, you know, more likely true,
I
but
guess he
not
took.
proven.
I guess he took the right actions, distancing, because like if you're gonna be any sort of, I guess, personality, it's people that surround you. You're probably gonna
Yeah,
have one or two bad apples. So
yeah.
whatever.
This doesn't seem like it would be such a big problem by itself. So I mean, I would say that this is whatever. This is more bad in the context of everything else, I guess. And the Beast Games controversy, multiple reports. I mean, yeah. So it seems like, and it says highly likely, which for fact checking, highly likely means that it's pretty much true. It's
Yeah.
basically, I mean, beyond him just, directly admitting to it, this is the highest it's probably gonna get. So we can just consider that this is most likely, almost certainly true. Um, this one, I mean, like I said, we don't. I feel like this doesn't really matter that much. I mean, it's just
Yeah. Yeah.
it's true. I mean, it's true, but not such a big deal. I guess again by itself wouldn't be a big deal, but you know we got 1 + 3, and then in the context of two, not looking too good. Number 4, moderately like. That's what we also thought. Moderately likely sounds kind of. I mean, it just sounds like his group, his team is just really reckless. I
Yeah.
mean,
We looked at the article. It's a lot of like guessing,
a
I
lot of
guess.
guessing.
Like,
It's just
yeah.
again in the context of everything else is just he's like he's just he's in it for the money, you know, like he doesn't care about anything else. I mean, people have been
Right.
saying this for
Right.
years. All this does is prove it. Like I think people are just being really dishonest when they do like a what about face, like, pretending that they didn't expect this. I mean, if you watched his content in the past, I mean, what if you watched American TV as, like, in your childhood, you would know that, there's no way a lot of his stuff is real, because his whole, he's number one YouTuber. He's not going to be taking risks where, he puts a bunch of money into a project and then, nothing happens, right? You mentioned this before. If nothing
Right.
happens,
Right.
it's just dead. Like, no one's going to watch that
Right.
shit.
Right. The bigger it is, the more guarantees you need.
Yeah,
That's
so
exactly it.
so obviously he's not going to be taking risks, and like risk mitigation means that it's going to be fake. So I mean, like, it's just a matter of like putting two and two together on this. It's unsurprising, unsurprising to say the least. But I guess it goes back to like Mr. Beast is like trying to appeal to the kids, which, that's something that I always found really not. I think he's not the first one that was like a kid friendly guy. I guess all those Fortnite people were also like, targeting the kids. It
Yeah.
always sat, but not so well with me, honestly.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like other people that have the same kind of content as Mr. Beast. I mean, I don't follow it that closely, but
Yeah, I
um,
guess the previous one we watched was that Tommy Innit guy. I think he's still going at it. He's an adult now, but he's still trying to target the kids.
right.
I don't know who else. I mean, there's obviously a whole bunch of people on YouTube, but it's just that kind of behavior is just weird. Just,
I
you
mean,
can't really
like
accuse them of anything, but yeah, it's just weird.
I know like some of the like Mr. Beast, like as an example of catching the fascination of kids, is like I work with quite a few people with kids, and they talk about like those Mr. Beast burgers, which are like they're disgustingly expensive, and he basically gives the materials to make the burger to places that like don't even sell burgers, and they taste
Jeez.
disgusting, but the kids want to go just because his name is on the burger.
Yeah, it's probably not
And
very
it
good
just
for you
it
either.
seems always seems very strange to me.
You,
Uh,
you know, he's probably cutting corners on that shit too. You know it.
oh yeah, 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 for sure.
It's probably not nutritious at all. Yeah, like that whole I forget what it's called, but like energy bar, which is supposed to be good for you, but it's actually just a bunch of chocolate. Like, not really good chocolate either. So yeah, he got a bunch of people basically eating chocolate, whereas before they were like avoiding it, out of
Yeah. Well, I guess the
attempts
real
to
problem though
yeah.
is that it's children that he's getting to do it, which is you know,
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
parents should be
imagine.
trying to block it out, but
Yeah, but how are you gonna block out if like they go to school and everyone else is watching that stuff? Like,
that's
there's
true.
nothing as a
Yeah.
parent you could do to this guy. Like, there's no way you could, other than like, I guess putting them like in private school. But that's money, first of all. Second of all, not all kids like that kind of thing. They might lash out.
Yeah.
And obviously, in homeschooling, I think is just too crazy.
Yeah.
You're just gonna raise like an antisocial person that way. The vast majority of people are not teacher material. So the last one is the one with Jake Weddle. Uh, so this, yeah, it's specific enough that it sounds like it's probably true.
Yeah. I mean, if he's a former employee, then I mean he can say what he wants, really.
Really, the problem is that there's so many allegations all at once. All these individually would be okay, but I mean I mean, let's discuss the real problem. Is like this guy is fucking being unprofessional with his torture technique. How is this?
That's really
How the fuck is
that's
this getting
essentially
out? Yeah, like This guy's clearly, trying to swing for the big leagues, play with the alphabet organizations, but he's, his whole operation is just going down. Like this, I can see this is a pretty big problem because like there's a huge leak, and it's
Right. Right. If
it's
this was
simple
his
stuff.
resume that he's, if this
Yeah,
was his resume that he's handing to us, and
yeah. Let's
we
just
are,
imagine.
and we're just like the CIA or whatever, and we're
Yeah,
going like, this
or
is a big
Ned.
problem here, Mr. Beast. I'm looking at number two here. I see the attempt that you're trying to do. You're trying to get this psychological experiment off the ground, but you're not hiding it very well
Yeah, this
at
would be a
all.
good cover. This would be a good cover story, but you're absolutely reckless because like not giving people food is not a really that, it's not really torture. It's just, it is torture, but it's not really like the kind of torture we specialize in. It's kind of too simple. You don't have a good feeling for it. You don't have a good feeling for the human condition. You're just greedy. You're not doing it for the art. You're just you just want to cut corners, and you're fucking up because you're losing money anyways, and at the same time you're not building the kind of connections that would be required for this operation to get off the ground. Because I mean, we can see
Right, right.
you're trying to like torture someone in more sleep deprivation method, but I mean, how is he talking, like how the fuck is that
Y-
going on?
you needed to hire somebody that can control these experiments a little more finely,
Yeah,
like actually have controls,
well
and
honestly,
actually like
yeah.
talk to these people one on one while the experiment's happening, or
Yeah,
talk
I
to
mean,
you of how to control these experiments.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Beast, I mean, to me, is just showing that he doesn't have really, like, the natural inclination for this kind of thing. He's not really psychopathic enough, Like, in these alphabet organizations, we're looking for someone who's, like, either, well trained or, has a natural knack for it. And he's
Right.
neither. He's neither because, and, it's really a lack of empathy. To have a lack of empathy, you first have to have empathy. We have to bring this guy in, we have to have a talk with him, and we have to have him experience what he's doing to others. The only way you can be good at torturing someone is if you know what it's like, you know then you can have fake empathy for them, which is even worse for them. String them along, then suddenly
At
save
least
them.
that exactly. At least that's a model, though.
Yeah.
It's a model to work off of. Whereas he doesn't really have one right now, very
Yeah,
clearly.
there's no plan here. You're trying to like have a psychological experiment. These people are escaping. You're not breaking them. You're not making them your agents. They're just fucking running absolutely buck wild on the reservation, doing whatever the fuck they want. I mean, like inadequate food. I don't understand that. Food doesn't cost that much, and there's
No,
there's
not at
there
all.
there's plenty of like ex prison wardens. Like you remember that Arizona guy, like what Sheriff Arpaio. He was like feeding
Yeah,
the prisoners like pink popcorn. Just fucking hire him. Like he'll do it by the book. Like you'll everything will be illegal. It'll also be completely fucked up. Like you gotta like
exactly.
choose your villains. Guy knows the law. He also has no morals. Fuck, it's easy. So easy. Just start thinking properly. This CV you're giving us it's not saying anything to me. Like you're not creative. You're not generating alpha. You're not creating connections with these people. You're not creating connections
Right,
with us.
right.
There's no interactivity. You're trying to make a show. I mean, either if you're trying to make a show, either fly straight, which I guess you're not going to be doing, or fly it by us, which you're also not doing. So it's really questionable stuff.
Now we see what you're doing with number four. I mean, you're starting to give code names to people,
Hmm, hmm.
Delaware, but like that's only halfway there.
Half the
is the
battle.
problem. It's like you're trying to hide his information, but it gets out anyway. You know,
Yeah, people know who
and
this guy
it's a
is.
little yeah, people know who the guy is, and you're even giving them a location in the code name. Uh, it's a little misguided, if you ask me.
You have to make sure that you can always just say it's someone else, and then you get rid of the guy who is causing the trouble. You got to redirect the attention away from him to someone
Right.
else, and then
I mean,
he's
I like that you're choosing like I don't know, somebody that may or may not be on some sort of sexual registry. So you got to get desperate guy that you can use,
hook. That's
but
a hook.
then you fumble it, like 10 yards to the goal line. Yeah, you kind of screwed up there.
Code
Give him
name for
a
him. We got a hook on him, and somehow he's still like the info still leaked. Like, come on, man. You spent like apparently this guy has been in his employment for like 10 years or some shit. Like you've already invested in
pretty
this guy,
impressive.
and you're just letting him go. I don't get it. It's weird.
It is strange.
This Delaware guy could be helping you with this stuff so that it doesn't get out.
Right, right. I mean, you can even like put all your racism allegations directly on Mr. Delaware,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
then just like that wasn't me. That was Delaware,
yeah,
clearly.
he's just a free agent. Like he's a loose cannon, that one. He's part. It's just part of our flavor. And we don't
Right.
we don't it's not our point of view. It's just his point of view. It's no big deal. Yeah, I mean, the racist stuff wouldn't be a problem for like the for Ned or the CIA, but like we're not that kind of racist. Like we're like the liberal kind of race. Like we're not gonna say like we're not gonna end bomb anyone. We're gonna say we like BLM, we support BLM, but those people shouldn't be living next to us. They shouldn't be we shouldn't have
Right.
bus stops in our
They can't.
neighborhoods,
They
so
can't.
they can't
They
come
can't
here.
buy $1 million mansions to live near me.
Yeah,
That's
we
not
just
happening.
Yeah, our realty agents, they show them the houses. We'll be nice to them, but they won't ever buy anything in that neighborhood, even if they have money, because it's drug money, obviously, or rap money.
These are just things you got to learn.
I mean,
And Mr. Beast clearly just hasn't done it yet.
they rap about the street. They should get back to the street, to their fundamentals. This is all basic stuff. We're a liberal organization. You can be racist, but not with these insensitive comments. I
It's a
mean,
it's
we're civilized.
a controlled racism.
Yeah, and don't do the whole thing like I hate everyone, like from the '90s, that kind of stuff. Like I hate everyone equally. Like if you hate everyone equally, you're not really racist. How are you gonna turn one group against the other if you're not taking sides? Doesn't make any sense. I'm not
It's
gonna
not
be
going to
like
help in
yeah, not gonna help. I mean, I
doesn't
might
help in
be.
future projects.
No, no. I mean, I might be, arming both sides of the conflict, but I'm gonna verbally take one side of the conflict because I'm not stupid. It just doesn't make sense, man. Like we're trying to get you up to being like our guy, and I don't know, like could probably have you in Israel doing stuff there, but some kind of some kind of charity stuff with the Palestinians. We could have them play games for soup cans. Uh, it's just strange. It's strange, man.
I filled 1 million soup cans with those springy snakes that jump out at you when you open the can, and gave it to a bunch of refugees.
I
I'm
mean,
having so much fun.
you got to be more sensitive, man. Like all these issues is like you're not sensitive towards people in general. You're just kind of on your own wave. You gotta get into heads. It's a battle for hearts and minds. I mean, you know, breaking those hearts and minds, obviously, and reforming them to serve you. But regardless, you're not even trying. Like,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's just no good. It's no good. I
No good.
mean,
No good at all.
GPT basically told us that you fucked up. I mean, when GPT knows you fucked up, I mean,
I mean,
it's
like at the most I could say is you're very resourceful, which I like a lot, and you're very you can affect a lot of people at once, but you got to work on. There's a lot of sloppy work here.
yeah. Well,
Gotta
see
say,
it. See, it's all about the quality of your relations. You know, you have a million people watching you, but you know, a million people are gonna forget you tomorrow as soon as you know some other fucking guy starts doing the same thing you're
right?
doing. You know, you
And that
gotta,
can happen because of any one of these, bullet points going wrong.
and they've all gone
Oh, you
wrong.
didn't, and they all have gone. Yeah, exactly. Oh,
It's just
I've dehydrated to death all the people I've done in my experiment. Maybe I can get some more people to do it. I don't think that's the way that works, but hey, you do you, Mr. Beast.
you know, it's the problem is you're killing the you know you're attempting to kill these people in the first world, and that's just not how we do it. We
Right, right.
export that stuff to other countries. Over here we you know we we make the process slower. You know, we make sure that it takes a while. You know, we want these people to take their time. You know, their resources. You know, maybe at some point, you know, they will be, you know, in skid row, degrading, you know, falling apart as a meth addict, and you know then that's like it's the third world. Then you can do whatever you want with them. But until that point, you know, have some restraint. You know, just no
Yeah, he's
restraint.
just going. He's going buck wild already. Unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. Just this guy. I mean, it's a problem of you know education. You know, like this is why you go to college. You know, you got to learn how to talk from both sides of your mouth. You know, that's why you go to college.
You
It's
didn't
how.
take word salad 101? Word salad
Hey,
101 is required.
you know, you make some connections over there. You know, I guess this guy did never you know never partied in college. You know, you gotta have like dirt on someone. You know.
Well, with that facial hair, you're definitely not partying in college.
Yeah.
He
No,
looks like somebody stuck pubes all over his face. It's not a good look.
yeah. I mean, especially the amount of money you have, it's a little bit strange. So yeah. So we'll take a look at the newest videos. You can see like they're coming out like it's just being machine gunned out. It's like everyone has an issue of him now.
I, I know.
The one I
It's
watched.
wild.
Let me yeah, like until today, no one or you know this week, everyone was fine of him. Suddenly, you know, it's just like a whole bunch of jackals just fucking ripping this guy to shreds. It's just
Too good to be true, and I don't have the evidence to back it up, then call me a liar, but I guarantee you that won't happen. Ever since I was a young kid, I always wanted to be famous, and it wasn't until in 2018 of November that I knew that I wanted to be a YouTuber. Sadly, it took me 4 years to realize that I actually suck. I'm really bad. I'm super cringe, and don't worry, because I am aware of this. But I know one thing, and that one thing is I'm good at editing, and I'm great at creating ideas for others. I was meant to be off camera rather than on, and I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is being taken advantage of. I was lied to, manipulated, and thrown away like a piece of garbage. Honestly, though, sometimes I kind of think that this was pretty genius. Like, how could a person so high in status be challenged by a person like me? It's like me going to Elon Musk and saying, well, he did this and he did that, and no one would ever believe me because I'm literally just a nobody. So
we'll just pause it for like a minute. I mean, this I guess this guy was like his working for him.
Like an editor, I guess.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, as an assistant, you can immediately tell like this is a potential asset. You know, he basically worships you as his god. So like, how the fuck did you get
Yeah.
let this guy go? Like, this is like the most fitting kind of person to work over. You know, this guy's content.
He's even like self-denigrating at the beginning of his video,
Yeah,
where he's
he
like,
just
I'm just not that great.
I'm just a peasant. Like, great, you're just a peasant, right? Correct. You got it right. You're just a peasant. So I'll just feed you like
Yikes.
pink popcorn. You'll just fucking work for me. So how did they lose this guy? Let's investigate.
I have Kris Tyson to thank for allowing me to have this platform to tell my truth. February 2nd, 2024, I went snowboarding like I normally do, and I got an email in which I thought was a scam. I mean, for real, look at this. Even you would think the same thing if you got a random email saying, MrBeast follow-up, when you didn't even remember reaching out in the first place. Whether that's true or not, I certainly don't remember reaching out to him. In my line of work, I work for big name YouTubers, mostly in the sports niche, but it has its range. I've done videos for House of Highlights, Game Day, Zach TTG, Jesser,
I have no idea who any of those are.
Jordan, and then I currently edit for MMG. Not to mention I did
I've only
do the
heard of
2022
House of
NFL
Highlights.
playoff commercials. So it's
Just
pretty
because
normal
they
to
do
have
highlights
people reach
of
out to me
actual
because they've seen my
sports
work from
games.
other
Oh, okay.
creators and all the other work that I've done for them.
Makes
so when
sense.
I got this email, I decided to give it a chance. I responded in the email and then I proceeded to post a Facebook post because I was so happy. Everything is dated, and to make sure this information is credible, it helps it set well with you. Pay attention to these days. It's not premeditated, and I obviously had no idea Kris Tyson would be such a perv, so there's no way I would make these posts in advance of like some kind of trick. I also have decided to log into my actual Facebook and show my actual email rather than screenshots, so you know that it's not photoshopped. So on February 2nd, I posted, so I got a job offer from MrBeast today. Video call on Monday. Wish your boy luck. Now let's go into the comments because I want you guys to be definitively sure that I didn't just make this post 26 weeks ago. All this is 26 weeks ago, and it would take a whole bunch of time to just make up all these fake people, and then to go in their profile and see that they're friends with the same people I'm friends with, having what 62 mutual friends, then going, you know, it's a little bit too much here, right? So I didn't. None of these are faked at all. This is my actual Facebook page. So that's the post I made on February 2nd. Now, I
See, someone using Facebook is already a big sign that he's a good asset. You know, good junior asset.
Yeah.
Guy doesn't, you know, guy's out of the loop. You know, you put him in the basement.
will go to my email, but for now, I really do want to show you the post on Facebook so I don't have to keep going back and forth. So in a nutshell, before we get into all the details, MrBeast gave me a fake job, flew me out to work. I worked my butt off, took all my ideas, sent me home and told me there wasn't a job available, and then proceeded to not only do that, but then to take my ideas still and then make a video. So that's what we're going to be covering here.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back to this list. So I kind of rattled off. So yeah, offered a fake job. Good.
Yeah, that's
putting me
good.
to work. Good. Working
Well,
until
good.
midnight. Great.
Oh, that's good.
Took my ideas. Very great.
Well,
Send me home. This controversial. Like why would you're not done with him yet? You know, you're not done with him.
Well, the took my ideas thing too. It's like I don't know. That could use a little work because you got to take his ideas without making him think you took his ideas. You know.
Yeah,
That's stepping up your game a little bit.
Then distort them and say that it was your idea all along. Gaslight this.
That's
you know,
my
you got to
idea.
gaslight them.
Yeah.
You know? Like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. It was all my idea all along. It's a good thing that you're doing what I'm thinking of doing with you. That you talked
Get back
about.
to fucking work.
Now get back to work. You're not going anywhere.
And then proceeded to not only do that, but then to take my ideas still and then make a video. So that's what we're going to be covering here. I mean, we're talking about a billionaire here. If you know who MrBeast is, you know exactly what we're talking about. And I can hang up my editing tool set, whatever you want to call it, dude. All that stuff. I'm not even going to be editing for the guy. I'm going to be using my mata. I'm going to be making ideas for him to make
What?
videos. I swear to God, that's what my job is. It's not
Wait,
editing.
okay, and good. Too good to be true. This guy buys it. How did this go wrong? I don't get it.
And that's what I got from our meetings was, MrBeast, Jimmy, he passes me a piece of paper that says, I blew up the world's most expensive tanks or something. And he gives me a thumbnail that has a picture of him blowing up a tank. And it's my job to make a video out of that. So that was February 8th. On February 13th is when I went to the airport. The post says, years of hard work has led me to this. My heart is pounding out of my chest. And as you can see, I'm flying to Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. And after that, take a very quick look at what I posted afterwards. February 26th, nothing about MrBeast. April 19th, nothing about MrBeast. April 25th, May 3rd, May 9th, May 19th, nothing about MrBeast. And do you know why I didn't post anything about MrBeast from that time? Is because something went horribly wrong and I was way too embarrassed to tell people about it because I had made so much noise, such a fuss about me going to MrBeast company, and then I just got kind of screwed over. So I didn't post a single thing about that. Now, you guys are wondering, I want to see the proof. I want to see the correspondence. I want to see everything that happened between you guys. I want that information. Well, I got it. So this is the first email I ever got from a guy named Dylan. I can't say his last name, so it will be blurred out for the rest of the video because I just don't want to get out his personal PI information. So we're going to keep it on a first name basis, and we're just going to say Dylan. Dylan sent me an email, and it says in the subject, MrBeast follow-up. Hey, thanks for submitting your info to our casting team. We received your submission at this time. We're fully casted for our current videos. That's not what we want to pay attention to. What we want to pay attention to is the second paragraph. Working at MrBeast, we are collaborative first, and I was forward your submission. Don't know how you got it, but let's keep going. If you're interested, I would love to chat about your potential full-time or contract role work on MrBeast creative team. February 2nd, 2024 that he sent me the email. It was February 3rd, 2024 that I responded to the email. I wanted to make sure, after I made the post, I was like, oh crap, this actually might be a scam. Let me go back and do some research, and then the next day I was like, you know what, I feel good about this. I don't have to delete my post. So I was able to go ahead and reply to him confidently. Now, this email here is my very first, I guess, direct exploration call, whatever. Basically, me being able to meet them for the very first time, like I said on my Facebook and like I said before in the email, Monday, February 5th, 2024. My second call was not only with Dylan, but now it has Dylan, Hoodie, and someone named Kara, which I have never met. I've never once met Kara, so you won't hear anything about a Kara in this video. And this took place on Wednesday, February 7th, 2024 at 2:30.
So again, a good, good potential agent potential where you have made up people. Great.
p.m. to 3
Yeah, that's
p.m.
pretty
Eastern
impressive.
Standard Time. That
You're
was
starting to confuse the
second
asset.
call. For another email, also on February 7th, 2024, this was directly right after the call I had with Hoodie, Dylan, and Kara. And within that conversation, they basically told me that I needed to make a prompt. And when I say
Vibe
prompt,
check.
let me just read the email.
People
Hello,
say that
Tyler,
nowadays?
Coming for a vibe check. Vibe check means you come in for a few days to see if
Yeah,
you're good,
yeah.
see if you're a good worker, see if
That's
people are
like
not
a-
going to be annoyed by you,
a
and see
big
if they can
thing.
move further on with the hiring process. If
Is it like Netflix and chill? What you end up
It's pretty tangential to that, yeah. We're gonna try you out, just get you a vibe check, see if we gel,
See, you gotta work in a little bit
It's
of a
just-
sexual
it's-
angle here. You gotta, if you're gonna be a CIA agent, the other thing is your sexuality goes out the window. You fuck anyone.
Yeah.
Like that's a big rule here.
Yeah, it should just say penis check arrangements or something here.
Yeah. Like they need to ask him for like, hey, can we see your abs or something? Like say well, you got a good sport figure. You'll fit in well here. We like people here with good physical condition.
But I'm a video editor though. All I do is edit videos.
That's where we're gonna
All
have
right, well, we want to know. We want to know what you're willing to do for the team.
Kara's gonna, massage you up, while you're doing your editing. We want her to enjoy it as much as you enjoy her. So we want like a tight team here, tight.
If
What kind of
possible, we'd
what
like
kind
to
of body
come-
oil
like
do you
for
usually
you to
use?
come in for 3 days at some point next week. I've got
Are you okay with men doing it to you?
CC'd on this email. She will help you figure out your days, what you can make it, and handle your travel arrangements. Now, this is the most important email of all. What they want me to do is to do 2 video prompts. Attached, you will find 2 video prompts. Pick one that inspires you the most, and document and write out how you envision it. Really let your creativity flow and assume everything is possible.
Let your clothes drop and your creativity flow.
The other is 24 hours to spend $1 billion. I went with the world's most dangerous trap room because spending $1 billion in 24 hours just seems kind of boring and, quite frankly, linear. I think I have more creativeness than that. That's just not something I want to do.
It's called creativity, dog.
This is Leslie sending me an email. Thanks, Ty. Are you able to fly in on Tuesday, be on office Wednesday through Friday, and fly back out on Saturday morning? Of course, I said yes, and she gave me all my travel info. So now we're going to get into like the more just deep in the details here. So like I said, if I don't show proof, don't assume that I'm telling the truth. If I don't show proof for everything that I'm saying, assume that I'm literally lying about everything that I'm saying, okay? So in that email, it did say, I realized that the footage was kind of cloudy when it comes to OBS and recording the screen, so I will put screenshots of those messages up there. But in the email, it did say that I had those 2 prompts, and the 2 prompts was something about spending $1 billion in a day in 24 hours, and the other one was the world's most dangerous trap rooms. So we're taking a look right here. I have the prompt, and it says the world's most dangerous trap room.
I think he doesn't realize he's walking into
the elevator
trap room
I have
himself.
The glass challenge. I have
You're creating your own trap room.
And within these
meta.
Prompt, I do have like variations. So first one, I can see the variation. So right here, underneath elevator, I wrote one thing. The ultimate goal is to escape the elevator before it reaches the top floor, and the bottom falls out beneath you. But I also have a second variation.
Okay.
Pick, lock, tool, groove, chain in the wall. Goal is the same except the elevator moves a little faster. Move the chain, object, lock, pick, tool to unlock the locks on the roof, and the elevator reaches the top. So, you ever play those games where there's like a little plastic thing and it has grooves all over? It's like a maze, and you got to move that ball through. Well, essentially, that's what I did for this video, except you're chained to the thing, and you got to move the ball through the grooves with the key that has a key on it, so you can reach one lock. And there's locks on each 4 corners of the elevator. So when you get this lock, now you gotta go through the maze again. And now you gotta go and take this lock out and lock that so you can escape the elevator. If you don't, the whole thing just plummets to the ground. I thought that was a pretty dope idea, right? So I did that, but I also made 2.
You forgot to put a bunch of snakes and rabbit animals in the little maze. Come on, man.
Because
God.
Make a
Yeah,
variation of it.
there's
So
got to be
also
more
here in Squid Games,
psychological
that was another thing.
terror.
I made a different variation of what was already done, and I did that. That was part of my pitch.
Wait,
Now,
wait,
let's keep
wait,
going
wait,
down
wait,
Because
wait.
I think it's
Yeah.
You're saying he stole ideas, and now he's complaining that MrBeast stole his ideas.
Yeah, we're going to see MrBeast is going good. You know, the guy's afraid of him. Remember, he said that anything I can't prove is a lie. Fucking MrBeast got in this guy's head, you know. Yeah, there's upsides and downsides, you know. Like we're kind of going on a roller coaster here. MrBeast potentially a big asset, you know, if we fix all this. It's a big if.
somewhere around. I think actually no, it's the Squid Games one right here. In the second variation of the Squid Games, I say Mario style. Floating obstacle course. Instead of using floating blocks, which is impossible, we will use floating rack hoisted by 4 cranes. Floating rack hoisted.
It's not impossible. You just have to convince people that it's possible. God.
Exactly.
You have to fucking teach everything to these people.
200 feet in the air. Each section of the obstacle course will change depending on distance made. Start from one platform to another to advance. Safety harness will be eliminated due to the net underneath the platform. Now,
Net?
with that,
What?
so we have an idea that I wanted to do. So I want to talk a little bit more about my experience
Get rid of the net.
of being at the MrBeast warehouse. I've never once personally ever signed an NDA. In all my emails and all my correspondences and all my text messages, I have never once ever signed an NDA. But what
Okay,
I think
we fucked up. Why not? We wouldn't be having these problems if we just NDA'd all of them. Man.
Right.
See, this is why you can't be sloppy.
they're doing, there is an iPad as soon as you get to the warehouse, as soon as you walk in, and you have to sign in. And they ask you things like your first name, last
iPad?
name, email address, all that.
What is this, like a
that. And
coffee shop in
I
San
think
Francisco?
it's suspicion that when you sign your name in there and you sign in, I think you're also signing
What the
an
fuck?
NDA. They don't come out and say it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. That's just something that I
Oh, so
hate.
you did
I'm
sign
not
it?
saying it's true. I'm just saying I'm thinking because
You're
I don't
just
wanna
talking
get sued
shit?
because
Did
I'm-
you or
like I
did
said
you
earlier,
not
I'm a
sign
nobody. Anyways,
something?
Okay, well, okay, well, we still have him on the hook, maybe. Okay, good.
warehouse, and they
Okay.
have multiple different like studios. Studios as in workshops where you work at, creative, thumbnail, editing, ideation, all these things, right?
They have
So
studios
take me to,
for each one of
legal
those?
purposes, I will,
Holy
for
shit.
legal reasons, I will say studio
Talk
one.
about an
A
easy
studio,
job.
do you
Go to studio one,
mean
you know, whatever, it's all right. We're working
a
on the video.
beanbag?
We're doing the, in 10 minutes, like actual 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, this video explodes. And I mean, this video, this building
So
explodes. I worked
it's
on
just
that
a
for little
table
bit.
at the local Starbucks. 4 tables, 4 studios.
yeah.
Wasn't really feeling it. Wasn't really my jam. We went out. I will put a little video up here of me working on like a little laser challenge for that. Wasn't really my jam. Wasn't really that good at all either. Anyway, if I'm being honest. So I went to the next one. And by the way, I'm sorry, I'm skipping all over the place. This was actually the second day of me being there because the first day I spent my entire day in my hotel, which was
So not only is
for
he
whatever
confused,
reasons, I
we are
I
also
couldn't go in the first
confused.
day, so I spent the first day in my hotel. The
That's
second day
good.
is when I
That
was
means
starting to,
that
go into
his
these
story has a lot of
hotels.
holes.
On the third day, I was told to go to a different studio. We'll say Studio 2, and I'm working on a video, and the video is, what was the video's name? It was another one that had nothing to do with anything. Anyways, I go through the whole day, or well, I say a good portion of the day, about 5 hours. So around like 2:00 p.m. there's a guy named Hoodie. Hoodie, it was also in one of the emails earlier. And
Hoodie.
he's like and when it comes to chain of command, I think he's third in chain of command total.
Chain
you
of
have Mr.
command?
Beast, you have Tyler, you have Jackson the head writer, and then you have Hoodie. And Hoodie was in
That's
charge
4
of
though.
things. I actually have my vibe.
The guy can't even
Mr.
count.
Beast captain?
He can't even count. I think Mr. Beast probably tortured him pretty good. He has so much brain damage.
I had my second call with Hoodie. I was in contact with Hoodie and Leslie, the coordinator, if you remember that, and everything was going through Hoodie. The guy's a great guy. He's a great guy. He took care of me. He really like gave me great information, great feedback.
Oh, he even
As I'm going through
even
this video, I want
speaks
you guys
well
to
of
remember,
Hoodie.
I'm not attacking these people. I'm attacking the company.
He shocked my
Even though he
balls.
doesn't know his
Company is a
name.
reflection of Mr. Beast.
He shocked my balls multiple times. It's pretty good.
What they're doing. Your company is a reflection of what happens. It doesn't
He
matter who
paddled
does
my
it.
ass
If your
with a
company's ran that
gigantic
way, it's a
wooden
reflection of
paddle.
You gotta take responsibility here. So I do my pitch, and Hoodie
pretty
says,
good guy.
you know what? I want you to go shadow some
He's a
people
pretty good guy.
For the rest of the day. I want you to go work with this team and see
Oh.
how you can contribute to them. So let's break
He's
down
being
the
trained as an
positions in this
asset.
company. You have C1. C1 is the head person of
Oh, what do
that
we have here? What the fuck
so
is
if
this?
you're
This is a
creative,
Pickwick
you're C1.
Square or something?
So creative, studio 1, C1. So there's creative, studio 2, there's a C1 for that. Creative studio 3, there's a C1 for that.
What is
Then
the purpose of
ideation,
making this
studio
to
1,
show us?
C1. Ideation, studio 2, same thing. They're just levels.
think-
They're just like the head honcho of that department.
I think
And
this
then
is just
within
all
that,
part
you
of his
have C2 and
imagination.
C3. I assume C2 is like the person
Boy.
who are in between, and I know
think they
C3
probably
is
use
like the
LSD
bitch of
on
the company.
him.
They just write notes. They don't do anything. They just write notes. Whatever is said, they take
He
notes.
probably
take
used
minutes, they
LSD
write
on
everything.
himself.
They're like the grunts of
Nah.
the department. went to
I
this
don't
new
think he'd
room
be
that
able to
was
get it on his
and
own.
there was 3 positions.
Ah,
Well, there was 2
okay.
positions at the
Gotta
time.
go to
I
a
didn't know
club
what
for
the
that
number
kind of
was at.
deal.
There was only a C3 and then a C2. I mean a C1. The C1's name was
See?
The C3, I mean, I talked to him for like 30 seconds. I don't know what his name was. And we were working on a video.
Good.
We were working on a video called The World's Most Dangerous Obstacle Course. Now we are getting to the part where you finally can understand why I'm so mad, so upset.
Well, finally.
I got scammed. I got absolutely
Wouldn't be
scammed by the
wouldn't be
biggest
funny if it
shit
just
we
ended
were
right here, like we just listen to all that shit. Just
Yeah, it's like, all right, thanks guys. Just donate to my channel. I'll see you next time.
yeah,
Wait,
I have
what?
no idea. I don't know why I was so mad. Huh? Okay.
in the entire world. This is where you're gonna find out why I was upset. Now it's gonna come full circle.
15 minutes
I'm gonna
in.
have to tell you everything. We're working on the video, World's Most Dangerous.
Oh, we're
Obstacle
going
Course,
back
and I
to
want
just
to show
explaining
some
stuff.
videos and proof of what I did. From here on out, I'm gonna start speaking more theoretically so I don't get sued. So there
Wait, what?
may or may not have
So none of this is
Mystery
proven.
Studio where they're all dry erase
What
markers.
the
You can just
fuck?
write
It's just
anything.
something
So
you
if
made
have an
up.
idea, like, oh crap, I don't want to forget it. Right on the wall. This
Well,
is a picture.
Well, it's
of
to our
my,
advantage. We
like,
can just say that he made it all up.
that I wrote. So you see right here, you get really close. Bloodthirst. Let's see. Elevator. Let's even get close. Glass challenge right here. PT hallway. Sound familiar? It's my prompt. So this is what I pitched to Hoodie. This is what I pitched to Hoodie and I didn't put my variations in there. I just put the ones that I wanted, and I verbally said my variations just in case they didn't like my original ones. This is the world's most dangerous obstacle course.
Can we just have like a serious conversation for a second? Like this is, even if they stole this idea, I'm pretty sure you could just generate it with ChatGPT. Honestly, like I'm not even joking. Like this is not hard to generate that kind of thing, or come up with on your own. This guy is.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be a little more insightful, but
I thought this guy was like stealing
by the second.
I thought we were gonna, hear a new like Tesla Edison story or some shit, but that's not what I'm hearing at all.
So C1 has been working on this with me and the other guy, I don't know his name, and we're working on, like, as you can see, the intro, the hook, the money mechanic. Right here, we're looking at, this is the most important part, it's just rooms. When I saw rooms, when we were brainstorming rooms, I'm like, dang, okay, rooms. I just did a prompt on.
Honestly, MrBeast, you can just like hire me. I can like do all this shit on my own. You don't even need studios. Like all your 4 studios, it can just be me. Like that'll be it.
Yeah.
And John.
While we're at it, I'll just do it by myself.
Yeah, us two. I think. I'll take 2 studios. You take 2 studios. I think it's completely doable, honestly.
On the world's
Also, recharge your phone.
This is perfect. I can do this. It doesn't exactly follow the obstacle course, so I can kind of use my room idea with this.
You only get in my studio if
whatever,
you
it doesn't matter. The one thing that I'm looking at the most is all the way
chuck
at
the
the bottom.
iPad
Look, it
out
says
the
Marlo,
window.
but it says Mario. Mario is my was my idea. I'm inspired by Mario because my kids love the Mario movie. They love it so much they named my dog Mario. Hold on. Mario, come here. Good boy. This is
So your
Mario.
proof that it's
My
your
dog
idea is that
literally
so the proof
His
is
dog's name is Mario. That's his proof.
That's my idea.
What the fuck is going on?
Dude, what the hell are we? We were like joking around, but this is like a bigger joke than our joke. What the fuck? Okay.
Dude, if this guy brought a court case, the judge would laugh his ass off and throw him out immediately.
Mario, they have the floating blocks, and I wanted to see how I can make an obstacle course with those floating blocks. I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I realized it's just impossible to make floating blocks in the air. I don't know how you would do it. Logistically, it's just not going to work, and physically, I don't think it would work either. So I came up with the idea with the
Well, you'll be surprised when you see
it's not-
hoverboards.
trellis net, or I came out with the deal with the.
It's not really impossible because you could hold them up by wires, which obstacle courses already do.
There's
There's been like
wires.
that American Ninja Warrior shit, and countless other obstacle courses that have done the same thing.
Even easier, you could just use CG. It's fake anyways.
That too.
So who the fuck
Well, yeah,
cares?
you can erase the wires that are holding it up. So it's
exactly
like
easy peasy. Especially since their rooms are like green rooms, from what I could see.
Trust.
Yeah.
Taking a look at this picture right here. So this was my idea here. I wanted to.
It's not your idea. It's just an idea.
But like somehow incorporate.
And your dog's name is Mario. It's an idea plus your dog's name is Mario.
You have a patent on the name, Mario for your dog.
So I had an idea of a truss with 4 cranes holding it up, and I wanted to be able to go.
I own everyone
That was
named
just the
Mario.
first section of it. Because if you look a little bit more to the right of this picture, there's like a helicopter and a guy hanging from a ladder, and there's platforms down here, 1, 2, and 3. There's platforms right there.
Get the fuck out of here.
Section of it. I wanted the intro of the video to be something so outlandish, so crazy that a viewer had to keep watching. I did steal the no net at the bottom. I call it a net.
I don't know. I would be like, this is fake, and I would just click off.
A net down there. That's why it says a net down there, because it's just a joke that we thought was funny.
This guy's
But I did
mind
steal
is
that from one of the
scrambled
other,
eggs.
Mac videos. I just figured, why not? It makes it such much of a better video. So I pitched this idea, and they absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. The only person who didn't like it
Or they
was
pretended to like it.
C1, because it wasn't their idea. So when it came down to our meeting later that day, so we were there for hours and hours and hours, and like I said, there's a hierarchy. There's MrBeast, Tyler, Jackson, the head writer, and Hoodie. Well, Jackson comes down there and we're having a meeting at 9 o'clock at night. The meeting goes all the way to midnight. And then they say at the very end, We're gonna need all hands on deck on this. We're gonna need the
On
help.
dick?
We're gonna need the
Did you say on
everyone
dick? Jeez, they really got in your head, bro.
Wow.
Wait, does anyone have
This
anything else
really
to help
was a
us,
sex
with
thing.
this? And I told him my idea. I brought up every single thing. Not only just this idea. but the rest of the
MrBeast
video.
is growing right
They loved
in
it.
front of our
The
eyes.
budget was originally 1.7 million. That intro alone cost 1.7 million dollars. Just the intro alone. And the reason why I didn't want to bring it up immediately was only because if the budget was 1.7 million and I'm here to prove myself, I can't start with going by over budget. Say, well, it would work because who they're going to trust? You're going to trust someone who works there for months or weeks, years, or you're going to trust some guy like me that just flew here a couple days ago. So it was a little risky.
Well,
but they
you were
loved
like
it.
putting
Stayed
yourself
till
down.
midnight.
Your story is so easy to beat.
Jackson was excited. Hoodie was excited. The only person who wasn't
And
excited
Mr.
was
Beast can
Seymour
just
that I
say this is all made up.
Because, like they say in the company, it don't matter if you're C1, C2, C3. C3 can be a C2. C2 can be a C1. C1 can be a C3 by tomorrow. All right. So at
what?
this point, I've pitched my idea. They
What?
love it. They've set a date. They set a location, and now they have a new renewed
So
budget.
it's like we're at
and everything's great. I'm so
some
happy.
government
I text all my
agency
friends, I call
signing
everyone, I'm like,
forms.
yeah, dude. You know,
Yeah.
Mari falling asleep.
Or iPads, as it were.
Yeah.
Was perfect. I know about everything was literally perfect until I got home. And that's when everything started to happen. Unfortunately, we have decided not to move forward with your candidacy at this time. We really appreciate you coming out and vibing with us. We would consider you for a role like this in the future, but timing isn't quite right. And the rest are about receipts. So at first, I was like, you know what? Maybe that's true. But then I started to think about it a little bit more. And I didn't want to let it bother me. So I said, hey, Dylan, that's a bummer to hear, but I appreciate the opportunity. Maybe another time, like you said, candidly, may I ask if I presented myself poorly or rubbed the crew wrongly in any way? Talking about here because I know I did. Also, I sent my receipts, and I was just talking about my dog because I spent like $400 for my dog to be boarded. Sent all that information.
Mario?
He said, hello, Ty. You did not rub anyone
Wait,
the
he
wrong
brought
way
his
or
dog
presented
with
yourself
him?
poorly. We're going through some reorganization with the team
Apparently.
and are limited on
Just to
role
prove that he has
and
Mario.
teams. I appreciate you.
This
sending
is
the receipt,
Mario.
Blah blah blah. Whatever.
This is
This
my
is
Mario.
where I started to like say, but I didn't say anything. I didn't say
Oh,
anything.
well, we could have used the dog as to string him along. Just take it into as a hostage, you know. And
Yeah,
plenty of
put it in a
opportunity.
cage and dangle it over
Not a
water.
single word until
With
I started.
sharks
So,
in
like,
it.
I will
Just
cut
uploaded
the
most
string on this
insane video
cage.
we've ever done.
Yeah.
Go watch. Take a
We'll
look
just
at this
make it
picture.
part of the
Take a
game.
Good hard look at this picture. Does that remind you of anything you've seen so far?
It's like
Does it
every
remind you
game
of
show
anything
ever.
you've seen remotely
It's like
close
in
to?
India, you
Or
can
does it
find
do
that.
the exact same thing that I
Yeah.
drew? The exact same thing that I pitched. Everything. Do you want to know how much I got paid?
This guy has no
Zero.
idea
I didn't get paid a single dime.
how the world
This man,
works.
This company, his employees, not only took the time to exploit me, to have me work for them under the false pretenses of a job that wasn't, that they weren't available or able to give at the time. Yet they had many people go in and out. On my second day, there was like a different group that I saw the day before, and then they were on their last day, and then on my last day there was a group of people that was their first day. You're trying to tell me you didn't have any positions? You didn't have any positions at all? Yet you had all those people, and not only did you do that, you used my idea. A lot of
This
people
sounds
say,
butthurt, honestly.
Legally, he had the
Yeah.
idea. I don't know in what legal standpoint he could. I could be wrong, but let's think about this though. We're talking about a billionaire. We're talking about the world's biggest YouTuber. How is that so hard to just compensate for someone for some work? How hard is it to compensate someone for their ideas that make you millions and made me zero? I don't care if it was.
Listen, man, if we were compensating everyling, we wouldn't be billionaires. All right, that's how we became billionaires. We cut corners.
Stealing ideas, walking on corpses. It's just, that's the way we do it.
How do you think we made our first million, dude?
You're giving these people false hope. You're taking their dreams from them.
Yes,
You're taking everything
yes,
that's about
yes,
their creativeness,
yes,
their
Yes,
creativeness.
exactly.
You
Now
got
you
it.
understand. Now you
One
understand.
of us. One of us. No. That's where you're wrong. You can't do that to people, and we did.
With everything on
Yeah.
media, it just kind of shows his true colors. It shows the true nature, your character of who you are. This ain't it, man.
A guy who likes money?
This is just part one because I believe part two was shocking.
Everyone knows that.
To the point where I have to do part two, and I really have to expose a lot.
There's gonna be
of
part
things
two
might
to
get
this
me sued.
bullshit?
So I'm working on something right now. I
What?
know this may sound really crazy because
my
you know,
God.
I'm asking for money, and that's basically what I'm doing with MrBeast. I want him to pay me. He owes me
No.
this money. He owes me this. He can't like you can't just keep.
We're paying you by not recruiting you. We're not recruiting you as an asset, and you should be thankful for that. That's how we're paying you.
Well, didn't you get paid for like the 3 days you were there?
Apparently he wasn't.
You know what? I like the proof. I
mean, that's something you probably could sue over.
Probably.
We work too hard to be stomped on by these guys.
If he's expecting like fucking,
but notice he never
expecting money for his intellectual property that he never patented or anything. And I'm sorry.
That part's not gonna fly anywhere. Actually, that whole claim actually weakens everything else. It's like that's like extra information that no one needs, and he doesn't say anything concretely. Really, I think he's just trying to like get attention. Honestly, like this is a.
Well, and if anything, he's afraid to get sued.
No, apparently they are refunding him. So this whole video is now just pointless. Okay, so whatever. That was enough.
Like, well, I wonder how much money he got from it.
Got Mario back.
So maybe MrBeast is learning.
I'm hungry. All right, jokes for food. I wish a philanthropist YouTuber would just give me 10K and not film it. Hey, what the hell happened to you? MrBeast, that's what happened to me.
What we do here is go back.
I was gonna be somebody. I was gonna be this. Carl took my job. Carl took my job. It's the worst adventure night if you didn't make me do it.
Homoerotic energy.
Yeah, very.
Okay, content cop from Timu back at it again. So just before I get into my interrogation with former MrBeast employee Jake Weddle, a lot has happened since my last video.
Nice roleplay.
After posting I got hundreds of messages from former MrBeast employees, and I had them all like send proof of former employment. You know, just people showing their support or telling their stories of you know, fake videos or unsafe practices, you know, toxic.
So I mean, in real talk for a moment, hundreds of ex-employees. You didn't work a single one of them, MrBeast? I don't get it.
Yeah. That's bad. That's bad efficiency.
Honestly, we're like considering you like as a serious asset. Well, that previous guy who we fucked over pretty good, but then paid him for some reason. I don't understand that. But this stuff is not CIA material at all. You're just completely fucking up the operation.
Hundreds of people have come through your hands, and you haven't utilized a single one of them.
They've slipped past. Now they're talking.
Stuff like that.
See, it's like he doesn't have a core. You know, he has those C1, C2. That's not how you call people. You don't call them C1, C2. They're not robots.
No.
Like, you know, you call them like Dark Lord. You know, like you know, Eagle One. Like they're You call them operators. You make it like a paramilitary thing. You know, like you make them feel like they're part of like a cool organization. You know, like you give them like patches to wear to work, like skulls and shit. You know.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I'm not really.
I understand it
because for one, like most people want to stay anonymous, which I understand, and also like
giving them a simple gift bag at the very beginning, then they complain a lot less.
Get a hook in.
Also, I heard from a very credible source that MrBeast has been sitting on a response to part 1 because he was worried if he posted it, I would instantly respond with part 2. You know, like this is Kids Bop, Kendrick Lamar vs. Drake. Also, I know MrBeast's secret.
I have no idea what you're referring to. I'm completely out of the loop.
Hey, what's in part 2? What does he know? So I will just tell you, James, what will be in part 3, so you don't have to harass people. It will be about serious allegations of sexual misconduct in the company and your direct involvement in covering up those crimes.
Allegedly?
I'll make sure to give you full credit and plaster your face.
Ooh.
Talk about that.
He
So
left
yeah, I've
himself
gotten
wide
dozens of
open.
messages from
No, we
former
can
students,
fuck him
employees,
over. We can just say that all those hundreds of people are
allegations.
fake.
So I just want to put a call to action.
He just opened himself up. Let's
If you
go
have a
in.
story, you can DM me. Just make sure you send proof of employment first, because I get a lot of DMs.
Proof of employment?
As much as I meme and joke around, like I take anonymity very
Like this
seriously.
joke organization?
I don't go public with anything.
Proof
Obviously,
of
support,
fucking employment.
I would
Well, like,
hope
what do you
that
think? They gave him badges?
Oh, and former contestants too. That's the other thing.
Here's proof of employment of working at this lemon stand.
Video,
I got a bag of MrBeast peanuts.
The camera guy who gave the drone just made
yeah.
the girls feel uncomfortable. You trap these girls in a circle and make them sleep on rough turf and get them high.
Nice, nice, nice.
Them.
Nice.
Okay, that seems really dark.
No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
I think I am.
Yeah, you are. Because if the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No.
But the thing is she's not gonna say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Right.
Yep.
that will be part 3. So,
Right,
you know,
right.
MrBeast, do with that information what you will. I know
A great show.
Chucky didn't want to respond to those allegations. So anyway, my interview with Jake Weddle, I chose to interview him because I thought he was perfect because he was both on
here's
camera
Weddle.
and behind the scenes.
Already
in
heard so much
2019 and
about him.
2020. And also, what people don't know is that he came back in 2021.
This is the guy who got
He was sole
tortured.
contestant
Somehow
in the
he's
MrBeast
still,
video, which never got
not
uploaded
our
because
asset.
we
I don't
hurt
understand it.
badly. I also
Yeah,
know another,
yeah.
portable document format who was working at MrBeast while actually on the registry. And I'll get more into that.
That's the
so I got his DM.
other
drove
one.
straight to New York overnight. Did not.
That kind of has
Spent
crazy
much
eyes.
caffeine, and I also
What was that, Delaware?
microphone in the interview, which
The
he's
one
wearing.
that
So it's mostly just him
is
talking.
a
Also, like, final thing. People said in my last video.
Oh, the one that was
yeah.
potentially on a sex registry. Yeah.
Right.
Delaware.
So this is Delaware. So that this is the part we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It
Good.
starts slow. It builds up over time. But I'll do the retention thing and say, the ending will blow your mind.
No.
It's crazy.
No.
Okay. Jake Weddle, everybody.
Nope.
I'm Jake Weddle.
Um,
If you know me,
Wait, is this also Delaware? AKA Delaware? Are these stories one and the same?
Kept in the shadows a little bit. I'm in the cutting room floor a lot of the time.
Okay.
If so, that's wild.
I was there from 2019 to 2020.
I mean, I already hate the mustache. That's just disturbing.
That's what the joke was about.
Company. It's like a TV show now. It went from YouTuber guy with the camera to Amazon. The culture around there was very unspoken, but there was a vibe. There was half the people who, if you made Jimmy happy, you were on
This
the
guy
good
is
half.
unnaturally
People got in
animated.
provinces And, were usually moved up, had more
Yeah.
screen time. And then there was people who, if you had a disagreement or butt heads with Jimmy, or just he didn't like you, you were in the other half. And I consistently was in the half that Jimmy didn't like me. That's fine. I don't like him either. It's okay. Oh, that's so good to say. I don't like Jimmy. I hate you so much. He didn't want anyone to get more popular or have
Okay.
more of a way out necessarily. Like, oh, I'm doing my Twitch thing on the side. Don't do that because you could get famous and leave and talk about me negatively. And
Oh no.
I could tell that the yes.
Like
men
this guy could
were,
totally
you know,
become popular
doing well.
and famous.
And,
Totally.
I was,
Especially among the kids,
Yeah, especially among the kids.
And
You don't want your kids watching this dude.
Perhaps for a different reason, but
stand behind, obviously. So I used to talk to people. I used to glaze Jimmy.
A lot of kid psychologists will hear about him.
just don't really trust people that, wear Hawaiian shirts with no context. It's strange.
It's like I have to, or I'll be sad.
This guy's raising so many red flags. If you saw this guy near a kid, it would be a problem.
Oh yeah. I'd cold cock them and call the cops.
I gotta save this kid. This kid's about to get fucked.
This kid's asshole is not safe.
He wanted to do a prank where unbeknownst to the person, he takes a rock, crushes their car, and they're supposed
That's
to
pretty
pick a
funny,
rock
actually.
from space.
We're gonna take a meteor and we're gonna put it on Weddle's car. We're gonna take another meteor and put it on Marcus's car. Both of them
Meteor?
have no idea that we're doing this. Weddle and Marcus are probably
It's a
shocked.
rock.
They
It's
have
not
no
a
idea.
meteor.
And so that was the one and only time I had to, huh? My car? What? And on the fly, I saw him, because Marcus was in that video. So Marcus is calling his mom. Marcus genuinely had no idea. He genuinely had no idea. But, so Marcus is calling his mom, and his mom's freaking out. And I'm like, oh no, they're gonna call my mom next.
Well, that's a mean
So I
joke
text
if
my
he
mom,
really didn't
who
have
had
any
to
idea.
Beg to get the title very quickly.
Yeah.
Now I'm texting my mom. I go, Mom, I'm about to call you about the meteor thing. You have no idea? Be surprised. And then I hit send, and then they go, call your mom now. And I call my mom and I tell her, and oh, she should have got the Oscar. Oh my God, on the fly, she goes, what? I'm on vacation.
Mom, my car has been destroyed.
Wait, what?
A meteor hit it.
I'm on vacation. Do you understand?
Yeah, I did that video, and they're supposed to give me $10K to put a down payment on a new car, and they wanted me to get like a big flashy new car. $10K was supposed to be a down payment. And I can't afford a big flashy new car because I work at MrBeast. So I couldn't get anything. I couldn't put taxes on. I couldn't get anything. I couldn't put the insurance on.
You
so
fuck.
I do my part of the
See,
video, and I get a
see, Mr. Beast, you know, we got to take a page from our book. You know, you destroyed his car, great. Now he can't get away from you. Now he has to take the Mr. Beast bus. You know, you don't buy him a new car.
Right.
Just fucking leave him stranded.
mom van that I could afford. And Jimmy was like, why didn't you get a cooler car?
Get a
I was like,
unicycle.
I can't afford that, bro. Come on, what are you talking about? You know, if I was working on a TV show in the 90s, on a show that was a quarter as successful, I could retire today. But now I make dog shit pay, making gajillionaires more money.
Big chip on his
And, I
shoulder.
just walked into the writers'
You can
room,
use that.
And that's one of the reasons why I left. Was because I just walked in there.
Make it him against the world, and you're his
Not
friend.
necessarily a gajillion dollars.
This guy is like the archetype of the Boston bomber.
You can use this. This is material you can use as an agent. He's so unstable. You could easily chain him to yourself.
I'd like to introduce you to a program called MK Ultra. We
This
think
is
you're a great candidate.
perfect candidate. Honestly, 10 out of 10.
Older comic, black guy. He had a kid.
I mean, this guy, if you give him drugs versus him not taking drugs, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, really. Only you would know. Perfect. Perfect.
Wild because he was older than me, had a child. We're doing the exact same job, and I'm some 20-year-old fucking white guy. Why am I getting paid more than him? I brought that up, and one of the things I didn't like about the way some of the V stuff shook out was
Just take the money, man. Wait, no.
Wait, what?
Really?
What?
I feel really guilty about the way it just like shook out.
Oh my god. What's going on? What the fuck's going on?
That's how the pay is, and I want you to get
What
paid
the
for it,
fuck?
you know, because you deserve to get paid for it. You know, I'm not a kid. And he didn't want to rock the boat.
He's
desperately didn't
he's
wanna rock the
crying.
boat.
He's
just-
crying.
I like my job. I like, you know, because when you grow up with nothing, not to say that he did, but I know I did. You know, you get a little something, you don't want to lose it.
So it's not about him. This is about you. What? What are you even crying? I don't know. This is
But he said,
weird.
hey man, if that's how you feel, you know, like if that's like, I trust you. Because he stood with me. You went to that meeting with me.
How did we lose this guy?
I said in my piece that you backed me up.
He's unstable as
hell?
fuck. How did we lose him?
And then he was having to check the next day. And if I knew,
I think he lost himself.
if I knew he was gonna lose his job too, I
What
would.
the fuck are you even crying over?
Another guy losing his job? With Mr. Beast, who he hates?
Me, I was over the moon. I was like, you're gonna give me a check and I get to leave? You know, I don't get to deal with the. Yeah. How many
Is
orgies
this
I spent on
also
my
a
asshole?
transgender?
I get to go home and you're gonna pay me to leave. I was over the moon.
Nah. I think,
No, okay.
I think
Alright.
he's just lame. There's nothing like that going on.
He's just
fucking
lame.
lame.
And I really regret that.
But you know, me and him are really still tight. We're still good friends.
Is he doing good?
Yeah, he's doing good. He's a good guy. I love that guy. He's doing good. Yeah. So maybe honestly, best thing to do.
Well, let me see that again.
We're really still tight. We're still good friends.
Is he doing good?
Yeah, he's doing good. He's a good guy. I love that guy. He's doing good. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Honestly, best thing we could have done for him. That was, very all this crazy shit, I guess.
Do you think Jimmy really
delicious.
enjoys doing good and helping people?
I think Jimmy wants to be the best YouTuber. I think he is laser focused on one goal. And I think whatever he has to do.
Why don't you come to this interview wearing a shirt that says
And I
poop?
think it was the smartest decision
Maniac.
that he calculated.
Yeah.
Because he's very good with numbers. If I
don't get it. Is this a joke? We can just say that it's a joke. None of this happened.
say I'm shitty.
Yeah, this is
if I give this homeless
the
guy 10K,
swerving out of control.
What do you mean I'm a bad guy? But I've always thought, if you're gonna do something nice for somebody, and you stick a camera in their face while you do it, that you didn't do a nice thing for somebody. You gained something. There was a homeless guy on the street.
That's the whole point, you fool.
For yourself. And
How did you not know this from the very start?
Gave one
It's always
guy
been like
$1,000
this.
Who needed it to eat, and now the revenue you generated from that video.
Welcome to
way
life.
more than what you gave.
That's how it works in
I
this
think being
world.
generous on camera, it's the least authentic thing in the world. There's
Yeah.
an element of,
Yeah.
you know, oh, hey, you're crying.
How's this a
that's
discovery
so
to anyone?
You know, I'm so glad if you're crying because you're so thankful that you got XYZ,
Yeah.
and then you go, oh, I'm so glad he needed it that bad so I could come in and, oh, can you cry more? Oh, it's so good for the camera if you could, it made me uncomfortable that I was working there, and
Well, you're also crying for the camera.
Oh.
You got a bunch of views.
Yeah.
and I think that's why
Well, 'cause
I
talking.
wasn't on camera as much as they said I was going to be.
You just don't have any bumps to use, so you're using yourself.
Banana, you know, it's going to be Jimmy, Chris, Chandler with me, you know.
Oh, there's the
And I never had,
C1
talking about that, like,
C1,
yeah, I'm
C2,
not gonna
C3
close it.
sections again.
And then I got the severance checks, so, you know, whatever, how that would work.
So after your severance
What
checks,
if you're
how
C1
yours-
and a half?
You appeared in videos after that, right?
Right. So in videos where I was appearing in later, that's why
Two
you
people.
keep nice publicly. If you're nice in public, hey, Jake was nice in public. Let's have him back.
I guess if C1 and C2 had a baby, you'd have C1 and a half.
Yeah, sure. So I was.
Tell you
hoping
what,
they
this
called
whole
back, you know?
arm and hand shit
I appeared in some videos
is
after
so
was,
millennial.
3 days
It's
cheering
painful.
if I did do mini challenges, in
This
that
guy
I was
watched
paid,
too much
you know,
Sopranos.
Clocked in with a rate, and I would get paid and compensated for those. But there was one video
Also,
where
like the
I was
non-stop
like,
fucking talking. It's
it didn't
just
come out.
No
It
pauses,
didn't
nothing.
go
Lord.
well. There was a video
Yammering on and on.
that came out probably like a year ago, something like that. It got a lot of hot water when it came out. It was the like surviving like $10,000 every day you survive in solitary, or surviving solitary for whatever. It was one of those solitary confinement videos that got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, what? You shouldn't do that. And if people don't know, that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me, and it didn't go well.
oh no, he's gonna cry again.
Well, if he was trying to recruit
Whoa,
you
whoa, whoa,
into his
what was-
organization.
What was that?
Well,
He looked
look
like
at
the
that again.
cupcake dog there for a second.
This generation's just built different, ain't it?
Yeah, it is.
And I worked at a couple of YouTube companies after Beast, and I had a little bit of change in my pocket. You know, the most change I had in my pocket ever. You know, small potatoes, you know, compared to Beast bullshit. But you know, I thought I had enough.
It's like a media brain. Like this is how they think people communicate with each other.
And they go, hey, they want
It's like
you to-
being on the internet 99% of the time. That's what happens.
What's the video? And they tell me the pitch. They try to make the pitch sound like it's gonna be like a walk in the park. The pitch is 100 days in solitary confinement, but don't worry, like you only have to last like 30. We have like a video. They're pitching it like at first it's gonna be like a luxury vacation. You're gonna have like a hot tub and an ice cream machine, and like part of the video is gonna be you deciding like what items am I gonna get rid of, you know, today, and you have like the choice. they were like, it's only going to be bad for the last like 5 days tops when you have like nothing left. You're the first. It's going to be like a breeze for most of it, and by the end of it, after 30 days, you're going to get $300,000 because it's $10,000 a day. And I don't know, man. I grew up poor in North Carolina. I said, excuse me, I'll dance for you if you put that kind of money in my face. Sure. They were like,
Wow,
"You're locked in this
you
room,
just did a
we're gonna
Looney
make sure
Tunes.
You're on all the time. We're gonna have cameras on you all
This
the
is just
time.
all
You're
nuts,
perfect.
honestly.
You never shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
On paper,
Haven't heard
okay,
anything
I can do this.
so far
They
that
always-
is
they
not
always
just
tell me on the
psychopathic.
videos. They always, and I was, editors have told me that it's because you have too much of a personality. And so with this video, I thought,
You certainly have a personality.
It's a
It's just
video
a really
meant to
crazy,
cut me out.
unstable personality that's disturbing.
And so I thought, if I have to do this, if I have to do solitary confinement in order to...
I can't go back to being a homeless guy in North Carolina.
That I held my tongue and I swallowed my pride and I tried to do one last ride. I get there. And at first it's fine.
Oh boy.
And, I mean, they just fresh
Man,
painted the set. You can
I'm
smell
sure
it,
there's
you know,
something fake
which that's
here.
probably not good, you know, the smell of fresh paint.
Like besides
No,
him
you
being
think?
nuts, besides him being completely nuts, I think he is making something up.
It looks good on camera. You
This
know,
is
it's
like
movie
fucking
magic bullshit.
exhausting.
It was a terrible facility. I mean,
Nobody
the
with
facility
this much to say is not
they had to, like, get, like, a
not
separate, like,
a
tank
majority
for, you know,
fake.
septic
Yeah. He many nights have been spent just thinking about this story. This was not a one-time deal. This is like a week of thinking, is what we're hearing. All right.
stuff. Yeah, there was a hot tub in it. Yeah, there was an ice cream machine. Like, things were cool and funny on paper. But when you think about stuff, a hot
many
tub
people
that's
are
not
up in that
connected
head,
to
you
the filtration
think?
system. Give it 3 days, it's gonna stink. You know, if there's not a, like a
This
hot
is
water
quite-
mechanism, so the hot tub
quite an
is
asset,
warm
I'd
tub
say.
and which was a silly complaint,
If we-
but the shower
If we
was
can
all cold,
tame him,
and he's
we're gonna
taking a
have
quick shower, and
we're gonna have
the
something pretty
cameras
mediocre.
24/7.
How did Mr. Beast not spot this from a mile away?
Yeah, how's this guy talking? He should be in Mr. Beast's basement somewhere.
Dairy, mildew, like, so I got to choose which sense was
Tape his
assaulted
eyes
at a
open
time.
in
I
front of
couldn't
a
have all of
projector.
the good.
It's that
So
easy.
The little things started to build up, you know, there was like the bug thing wasn't like terrible, but it was a factor, and like at first it was fine, you know, and you're playing it up.
What's this guy doing?
And it got to a point where, like,
Looking for an
they weren't
escape
turning the
route.
lights off. You know, I asked them, I said, "Well, I have
He's
some
looking a little
light
bit
hours?"
unstable too, honestly.
You know? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. The time-lapse of what? Me sleeping? Or me not sleeping? Yeah, I saw in other videos they did
I mean, the interviewer hasn't even asked a single fucking question.
For a while.
It's like, what's going on?
One of the things was you got to take away your
This is just
clock.
an insane rant.
Okay, I got no access to sun.
It was someone's
I got no access to
fanfic.
clock. I don't know, like, the lights are on.
That's a good description of it. That it is just one gigantic fan fiction.
But they might have started there.
Yeah.
I had good people looking out for me.
Yeah, but did you sign in on the iPad? That's the real question.
This gotta stop.
If he signed, we're safe. It's fine.
I just wanted to turn the lights off.
It's fine.
And I'm vocalizing to people. I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my friend.
This is the part that drove him
And
crazy.
I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists.
Yeah, but we do it.
Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess. is what
Yeah, Geneva Convention, Geneva suggestion, more like.
Yeah. Come
You
on.
know, it's not helping. You know, then
It's fucking assets, you know. They talk too much. They start telling us what we're supposed to do.
Because he's doing other stuff. You know, I'm just the guy in the cage over here. He'll come back to me in a minute. And so he'd come by, he'd get the shots, he'd leave. Sometimes he'd have a note to the director over the phone that would really piss me off. This is the note I got from the director, from Jimmy, when I'm receiving some cash. He said, Jimmy said, can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans?
Get in his head.
You know how hard it was to do a take of that?
Exactly.
They pretend to make it genuine.
Right. If you don't make it genuine, we sleep deprive you again. Perfect. See, this is where the real art begins.
Do what he says, he'll do what you want.
We're gonna mothball you.
In his cage.
Yeah.
And you have power over people. When one person doesn't
Right.
have resources, the
Right.
other the whole
Right.
Yes.
Of course, yeah.
You're starting to understand the process.
He's becoming self-aware, but not self-aware enough to realize the game.
Inject him with meth again.
Not having a good time, but we were filming a video, so I was trying my best to be funny. You know, I'm a dark comic. You know, I got
You
things
don't,
about.
you don't seem that funny.
I have my
Seem funny in a sad kind of way, like in this kind of way where I just want to cry.
This kind of stuff is very near to my heart. You know, I don't fuck around with this
Dog named Mario was much funnier than you, honestly.
That is true.
Abusive relationships. I get out of it the first thing.
Yeah, like none of these people can like stay on track. They're like they're all over the fucking place. All over the place.
This could have taken only 5 minutes, honestly, just sleep deprivation. But you know, we're just gonna keep going, keep trucking.
I'm talking.
There's no sun.
And I'm being, you know, like, hey, it's been a couple days, I'm not doing so hot, you know, which if I'm filming a video, that's what I should be doing for the camera, but it was too real. If they're faking videos, why couldn't we fake this one?
Oh.
You know?
Hey, this is great. This is great. Now we can say that it's real. See?
Excellent.
Now people can't say it's fake because he's saying it's real, but what he said is not true. That's our catch.
We're allowed to let these cast members have some time off of this difficult challenge. How come we couldn't turn the lights off? How come we couldn't maybe not have some time lapse?
See, he was so close to figuring it out, but he didn't. This is why he's a good asset. He never makes the last step.
I started to calculate, I don't know if I can do 30.
Yeah, it just doesn't come to a conclusion.
Circuit just never closes.
Have a video and still have some
He's
cash.
the mouse that just keeps on fucking chasing the cheese.
I did.
Never solves the maze.
Since we're doing time-lapse shots, and since they insisted on time-lapse shots, I said, all right, we'll give you time-lapse shots back. I put my YouTube on with the whiteboard they gave me. And I was like, all right, yeah, go ahead and scrub that footage. You know, you got that whiteboard. Oh, no, either that goes in, or this footage is unusable, and then, you know.
We got video
James
editors.
came in and erased it, you know, fucking, you know, don't put that, hey, we can torture him, don't you dare let him get a plug in there, you know?
Yeah. So that's really all you wanted, huh?
Like, we were playing up the joke.
This is like a meme about this generation. Like, I'll let them fucking torture me just so I can have my channel name on the board. It's so easy. Like the more we joke about it, the more plausible it becomes. This guy could be like an asset. Like no joke. You could literally use this guy. Like we're playing along as if we're the CIA. I think. First of all, great video. Second of all, I think seriously,
fantastic.
This could. I mean, it's so easy. Just fucking dangle YouTube fame in front of his nose. And he got him, you know.
Yeah, give him a platform to speak, and that's all you need.
That's all you need.
Something weird about when Jimmy jokes.
So easy.
I have jokes about my dad because I love jokes with my dad. I'll joke with my dad all the time. I guess piece of shit. I hate my dad.
The hardest thing might be convincing somebody to sit across from him to listen to this bullshit for hours.
Yeah, I sometimes see weird. I don't like it. We were doing that one of those hide and
So the background checkerboard,
At the time, they were
weird. Everything about this is weird. Checkerboard, Hawaiian shirt, poop shirt.
Place where you get caught.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were in like a
Mustache.
chubby checker or something.
In the final cut. But he says to me, all right, you're going to jail, you know, like your dad. And like, it's a joke.
Something like your dad. Huh.
But when my
That's pretty good.
friends do it, it's fine. He wasn't my friend. He was my boss.
Yeah.
And that wasn't cool.
Which means he can do it 10 times more than your friends.
At his
Right.
whim. And I have to do things to get the cash I need. to live.
Yeah.
And I got these cameras
No,
on.
I'm
I'll die
gonna
without-
hold up the picture of a human. Tell me where Jimmy touched you.
I mean, imagine like 300,000. I need 300,000 to survive. Otherwise, I'll die from starvation. Really? Okay.
God.
All right.
And I was like,
Sure. Yeah.
You're clearly unwell. Well, because the footage you're sending in is haunting. Because I'm trying to be funny, but I am mentally decaying, so I'm doing bits.
So you're not funny.
Someone said there is a horror cut of a video in this. And I'm saying, like, who's watching this? Like, who wants to see this? What
Right.
is fun
So we
about
won't pay
this
you.
video?
Perfect.
So
It's not good enough.
I think that made me wanna-
We'll
I gotta get
keep it
back to
internal.
another day in a year.
Use it against you.
Jimmy comes in and
Excellent.
I'm asleep. I don't know what time it is. I was like 2 or 3 or whatever.
Perfect.
Why are you sleeping? I don't know. I can't sleep.
Yeah.
And he comes in. He wakes me up. And he goes, "Ask me why I have 2 briefcases." And I'm like,
This
"Why
guy
do you
is
have
the
2
epitome of this
And
generation.
he goes, "Oh, 'cause this one's for today, you know, and this one's for the challenge." And I go, "What's the challenge today?" He goes, "You're gonna
Oh
run
my
a
God.
marathon.
Is he drunk?
You're gonna do
Is he drunk?
22.6K, whatever it is. You're gonna do it on that treadmill over there." The first challenge I did was a Rubik's Cube, and I'm dyslexic. I'm dumb. I don't know how to do a Rubik's Cube. So your first challenge, Rubik's Cube. I was like, "Oh, I don't want to do it." I was like, on camera, I don't want to do that. You go, "Just do it for the thing." My kid, yeah. Like there was an element of, oh, Jake will do what we want because he's in house. You know, that's one of the reasons why they got me. Jake's he's an inside guy, so he'll do whatever. We can push him a little extra hard because we know he's good. We know he's. I couldn't say no to the treadmill thing. Yeah. So I people who run marathons train forever, and it's still hard. Again, writer.
What?
Let
Wait, what? What?
alone a marathon.
He's got to run a marathon on the treadmill.
So I was in a Sunday.
Honestly, I gotta give it to MrBeast. Pretty creative stuff.
Like, did you have a choice, or?
Also got to give it to him. He finds them.
Okay, you
He finds the people.
just do it. Just do the thing.
He just can't. He just can't pull through.
Just don't let him leak.
So that's the whole video. I guess the budget's, so much money up in flames because Jake said he wouldn't want to do the thing.
Right.
And so I wanted to be a good sport, and I wanted to
Yeah.
get the boost, and I wanted the cash, and so I started running at 12.
Honestly, this does sound a bit like it's not really a joke. I mean, it's not a joke anymore. He actually did torture this dude a little bit. Not bad.
Take some breaks and.
Yeah, well, the torture part of it wasn't the full problem. It was
Yeah.
the.
I got off the treadmill.
It was the fact that this guy's talking.
Oh God! This is the 5th time he's crying.
I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just.
Maybe this is also fake. Maybe this is just eye drops. We don't know. We don't know anything anymore.
Funny.
It is funny though. After this is done, I'm gonna be curious about the comments. Like, did anyone else notice or whatever?
I'm out. I want out.
Mhm.
And that's when
Maybe he's still working for MrBeast.
I talked to Psych about how
Yeah, maybe this is
Who
all.
knows?
and
See, yeah, maybe MrBeast is just like this. This is how like you re-legitimize the organization. He just goes underground, and then his C1 or whatever, he's the top dog now. And MrBeast still runs the operation behind the scenes, you know.
like I
Right,
said, there was
right.
a lot of good people over there that was saying you got to pull him out.
He's the puppet master.
I had friends that did some freelance work.
We'll see.
And, they would
Maybe
tell me,
we're
"Yeah,
underestimating.
everybody knows you over there. Everybody loves you." They go, "Oh, Jakeweddle, love that guy. Shame what happened to him."
That is actually a little bit funny.
And I asked him, I said, "How much longer are you guys going to keep me in here?" And the guy goes, "Realistically, like at least 7 more days." No. And they didn't let me leave right away either. They wanted to make sure, everything was fine. So I slept for a while. They turned the lights off. And they brought. It's like
This
they brought
guy's
it on
just
my
fucking
friend.
unhinged. Again! Again!
They brought in all the people I liked, and Jimmy. Then everybody was around me, making sure I was good, making sure I was okay. But Jimmy had his, like, he was sitting in the chair, turned around like an evil villain. Swear to God, everyone was looking at me, and he was like Lex Luthor over there. He turns around, he stands up, he does the exact same thing when he's pretending to have a human connection. You know when you're watching a video, and he's like, oh, stop, you're gonna make me cry.
This scene is a
And
scene.
then he like touches his eye or whatever as if he's crying. He's just...
Well, you're showing him how to do
that
it.
shit. She says, as if rehearsed by his lawyers. Yeah,
Oh,
you know,
lawyers, that's good.
your mental health is the most important thing. You know, I just want to make sure you're okay. And the last thing we want you to do is...
I can almost hear the word Sue come out of his mouth. The S, he just stopped right before it got out.
I did not get the 300K. What I got, he goes, think of it this way. At least you get to keep what you earned. You know, you were in there for XYZ days. You did XYZ challenges, so you got, you know, 100,000 some change, you know, give or take.
So why are you so
I
mad?
spent in taxes in 2021. I spent $44,000 in taxes alone. And now, I spent all that money on doing stand-up. I bought plane tickets to go do comedy festivals. You know, my family back home, I gave them a bunch of stuff that they needed. And having them back on a Beast set in any official capacity or unofficial
this
capacity.
guy's a comedian?
Since then. And then they did the video with somebody else, and they worked out the kinks.
He's a comedian. Why do we want to cry and not laugh?
Yeah. He's like the opposite of a comedian.
Long time. And
One of those sad clowns, sad creepy clowns.
I feel good though. That's how you get that.
Horror game. This is a horror
So I just
game.
want to hop in here and show some text that Jake sent me after this interview. This is July 29, 2020.
Oh, it's over?
He got out
Oh, it's
of,
over.
solitary.
Whew.
How are you feeling after a few days? Better. I
That was
still can't
tough.
sleep,
That was
even
tough,
3
dude.
days out, but I almost have my sleep cycle back on track. My legs and joints are good, but the blisters on my feet still hurt to walk on. Medical advice I got was not to lance them and just let them go away with time. I'm mentally still in an uneasy place, but I've gotten back on better help. My therapist is a little concerned, but we are working on things. Mind you, this is not supposed to be a
Fuck
traumatic
that, I'm
video. It's supposed
lancing
to be
those
a,
fucking blisters.
MrBeast video. Hey Jake,
fun.
I hope you're doing okay. I just wanted to check in on you.
You could just
Hey,
make another
I'm good.
YouTube
I
video.
appreciate that. I'm not exactly 100%. I feel like mentally I'm still recovering a bit, but back in therapy and my therapist is concerned. Haha, well my legs and joints feel better, like I can walk, but my feet are still covered on those blisters and those hurt to walk on. But I was told the best thing to do is stay off my feet and let them heal. I'm in Raleigh with my family. Also, it'll be like a month before I get the money, and they aren't giving me all the money. They're giving me what I won up to that point in the game, which was also a slap in the face. But hey, I'm out. I'm alive. Therapist who knows and cares about you. The whole thing was so fucked, and honestly, fuck them for not giving you the money. Meg and I are wishing you the best with your recovery, and please feel free to reach out if you need anyone to talk to or need a place to crash in New York. Hope you're doing well, man. That video you uploaded is money. So good. I appreciate. I'm doing better physically. Mentally, I'm still kind of in a place. I still can't sleep. I've slept 5 hours in the past 3 days, marathon included. I don't know what's wrong with me. Lots of thinking too much.
But you slept during the marathon?
They're taking care of you where they can. I mean, I was kind of shocked they didn't pay me for the full 25, 30 days. They paid me what I made up to that point. Like, even when we have to pull the plug for my mental health, the mechanism of the game is still at play. I'm just happy to
Yeah, who
be out.
cares
I
about
still
you?
can't walk well, but it hurts less. And like, I'm not famous
Show
enough to
goes
burn a
on.
bridge, so at the end of the day, I'm still Jimmy's bitch. Like, if I was Carl and he did that to me,
Yeah, you know this guy's gonna come back.
do it again. That could be your leverage. If the guy breaks down also, 2 is better than 1. Yeah, right. I told
We'll probably see a video tomorrow of him doing this challenge all over again.
them everything they did to me, that they can't.
Well, he
do
said it
anything in
himself.
order to
He's
make sure
Jimmy's
the other person
bitch.
doesn't break down as fast. But like, The way the video is meant to function is the problem. It's a bad idea, full stop. It sounds clickbaity, sounds right up
You
to
hate it so much, why don't you just go do something else?
Level. Off-camera breaks, lights off at night, visitation, take the marathon out. Marathon is a video.
Why don't you do like an eating contest?
Someone to exert themselves like that for 45 seconds of content.
Oh wait, because Jimmy doesn't pay for food.
It felt like a parody of MrBeast. I felt like the homeless guy they could exploit. It felt like if Jeff Bezos had a GIMP. It felt like if Jeff Bezos had a GIMP. Part of me wants the footage burned, and part of me thinks that there's a great horror cut in there. LMAO, he was so fake when he came in and said he cared about my mental health. They must have programmed the care about mental health updates. He said, we also don't want you to, and I swear to our Lord and Savior, he stopped himself from saying sue. Also, as far as like, he could have said no, he could have left at any time. I want to show this segment from an internal document at MrBeast called How to Succeed in MrBeast Production. Specifically on page 19, there's a paragraph titled, No does not
They have a manual?
Already insane, because it's sort of, it seems to be co-opting the popular anti-slogan.
Oh, the Doomsday Manual.
Which is a terrible
What to do in case MrBeast dies.
Coming out very soon. It reads, when dealing with people outside MrBeast Productions, never take no at face value. If we need a store to buy
This is the
everything
MrBeast
inside of,
manifesto.
and you can call the local Dollar Tree, and the person that answers says, no, you can't film here, that literally doesn't mean shit. Talk to other employees and see if they are.
It's a great attitude. It's agent material.
Try talking to their boss. Their boss's boss.
Laws don't exist.
And try their social.
We're a state inside of a state. We don't care about any of this shit.
Huge fans and willing to bend the rules. Basically, what I'm trying to convey is what we call pushing through no.
Yeah.
Don't stop because one person told you no.
Yeah, drug them.
All conceivable options are exhausted.
Which is never.
Many tools that, when combined, dramatically improve your probability of success when producing here.
Yeah.
So yeah, this idea of like pushing through no's is a big component to working at MrBeast. And the way that it manifests itself a lot of the time is like a director might tell a producer, hey, we need access to 30 acres of farmland by Tuesday or we lose $500,000. Now, if you're the producer, you obviously know that means get it done or you lose your job. So what can happen is like a producer's calling up farmers saying, hey, I need to use your land. And the farmer might be like, okay, but, you know, I have animals, you can't be making really loud noises, no pyrotechnics, and you got to clean everything up. So the producer's sort of incentivized to lie and say, or maybe the producer doesn't even actually know the total contents of the video, right? Things changed last second. So they're very like, they're financially incentivized to be manipulative and sort of, they're put in positions where it's like, oh, it's either the producer's job or a civilian's job, like where it talks about, hey, maybe the manager would be willing to bend the rules. Well, you shouldn't really be pressuring civilians to bend the rules. That could
Civilians.
You know?
So this guy's also in on it.
This is unused evidence from part 1. I'd seen this Reddit post titled MrBeast leaving trash behind and debris at film site in Aden, North Carolina. Apparently, he left a large boat in a pond as well as debris around the film site in the bottom of the pond.
We can't afford a cleanup team.
This actually rendered it
our cleanup team deals with the unstable elements of our organization.
To get in contact with MrBeast to get the stuff cleaned up out of the area. So I actually know that this is from a MrBeast video called Protect the Yacht, Keep It, where at the end of that video he actually says,
if you're wondering, yes, we did ensure the lake was completely cleaned up after this video. For the love of God, subscribe so we can pass T-Series.
Yes, he says at the end of the video that they made sure it was cleaned up. I was actually on site for part of this production. I was at this camp, so I decided to send an email.
Is this just a competing alphabet organization? Because he's also calling them civilians. Man, what is this, like Ned? Fuck off.
I mean, civilians. Don't CIA operatives refer to themselves as civilians?
And the camp responded, actually not denying the.
That's what I'm saying. This guy's like this guy's like a competing alphabet organization. You know?
Going on to say, I am sure that there are.
This guy's just trying to convert our agent to his agency, whatever it is.
For the opportunity that we had to host the production crew, and because grace or forgiveness.
Yeah, I'm just out here. I'm recruiting the CIA.
Clearly alluding to the fact that there was a wrongdoing by MrBeast production team, and that's like sort of the thing is, if you're around Greenville, you know these stories of people working with MrBeast and it being extremely unprofessional, them not doing what they say, but they sort of get by a lot on their good public image. And like, I mean, this camp offered to host them completely for free. And I guarantee, like, if you went to the lake at the camp and you went magnet fishing, like, you'd find all sorts of debris that's still there to this day. Like, they didn't clean it all up. So in the case of Jake Weddle, like, I'm sure that there were producers who were in a position of, hey, if Jake gets out early, we don't have a video, and your job is at risk. So there's a tremendous amount of pressure on top of, like, him being delirious from not sleeping and everything to just manipulate him into staying. Which, you know, I'm sure this isn't, like, technically against the Geneva Convention on torture because he wasn't technically a prisoner. Like, he could have left at any time, but because of the extreme pressure to stay in, it's not really a reasonable expectation that he could have just, you know, walked out.
Because of the implication.
I think Jimmy.
Now he's in my basement. This is my basement, actually. Now he's my prisoner. I don't fucking care about the Geneva Convention. That's the fucking Geneva suggestion, dog. Now I'm torturing him for real.
A awkward kid.
That's why he's acting so weird.
Yeah, had it a little rough growing up.
This shirt is not his shirt, by the way. It's just something I gave him.
Yeah.
I think when
Of course it's not.
you're hyper fixated on something, like I love stand up, he loves YouTube, everyone fixates on a thing. You know, I think he just wanted to be the best.
It's like a gun pointed at him off screen. That's why he's crying so often.
You know, rewarded.
It's starting to make sense.
Oh man. Yeah, I just can't handle the truth anymore.
Some things that maybe aren't good, but reward.
He's afraid to get shot.
Jimmy just did what the industry and maybe what the system that we have set up demanded. And he didn't care who got hurt. And I think Jimmy surrounded himself with really not so great people, and those people were the ones making the decisions. And I want to say, really important, there are so many good people that work at MrBeast who are damn good at their jobs. Like,
he's doing some damage control.
asked for something impossible.
So they are doing what we're thinking. He's just gonna, MrBeast is gonna go away, and they're just gonna assume
They should
command.
be able to make it happen, and they do.
Yeah.
And so, I don't think people wanted to talk
And
about
so-
that because I didn't want my friends to lose their jobs. I don't care about my fucking job. I'll die in the hole. I don't care. But I don't want my friends to lose their jobs. You know?
What's your
I don't
job?
want anyone's reputation
Complaining?
fucked,
Crying?
you know?
Being the bitch of some fucking state within a state organization?
Rattling on nonstop about absolutely fucking nothing.
Behind closed doors is a real piece of shit. And so
Wearing a mullet.
starts hitting the fan.
You gotta love how much gay energy all this has.
Surely.
He clearly just really loves MrBeast.
You know, thought my mom was the bitch, you know, for that, you know.
Yeah, he's just jealous everybody's so close to
You
him.
know that.
I did all this stuff for MrBeast. I did it for Jimmy. And he didn't
Stroke my
give me the
hair
time of day.
and hug me, hold me close.
I said,
He cries like a bitch every other minute.
I wish Jimmy would be the dad I never had.
dumbass, God
I wish he would be the stepdad I never had that beat me with a belt.
Then hugged me.
And I don't know, everybody loves Jimmy, and behind closed doors, he is
See?
great. And
Everybody loves Jimmy.
I love Jim, but he don't love me.
cultivated purposefully and intentionally, and it's branding, it's marketing,
Yeah.
it's YouTube.
Huh?
Chris,
What?
I guess, one final question on a serious note. Obviously, the Ava Kris Tyson drama. And
Any last words before I shoot you?
Is your traditional media? Did you witness or hear about any sexual misconduct.
They will never find your body.
It's crazy.
I know how to dispose of you in a way that you'll never be found.
Just because I was on
You'll be in a suitcase heading to Tasmania.
That was a lot of fun.
Jimmy sent me.
Moving in front of the camera, and Ava was the only person who was willing to film. Everybody else was too busy or didn't want to, and I was just trying to do my job. Sometimes there'd be like an offhanded joke that's a little gross. I mean, I'm a stand-up, so I'm very desensitized to that. I didn't hear
What?
anything like, whoa, that's crazy.
This is false. We've seen it. It's false.
Jeez.
We've witnessed the falsitude of this statement.
Was when I saw the Discord stuff. I never, because when I got there, it was like 2019. So, I guess if the timelines add up, that would have been like handled, for lack of a better term. And then they started bringing more people on. You know, maybe they thought they had that under the rug. You know, all right, we handled that. Now let's bring in some writers. You know, and when I saw it, all that stuff started coming out, and the potentiality.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a tell, but like the random laughing, like the way what makes me think. Yeah, first of all, it's disturbing. And second of all, it makes it seem like a lie. Like.
Yeah,
that's a tell of many people.
Like I said before, people that talk this much.
Yeah.
Like he was only asked a few questions, but he like talks endlessly. Usually are, you know, giving way too much. There's no way you're
so many
telling
tells. There's so many tells.
This moment of recording, you know, I know this has been happening fast and stuff has been coming out so fast.
Poop.
That's why Jimmy chose him, because he knew no one would ever believe him.
Been in those Discord chats, or even the potential that he participated in those Discord chats. After the shit he did to me, you're gonna make fun of my dad. I don't care what happens to me and my career and reputation after this. I had to say some stuff. So, never happened.
Try again. Start trying again.
Some stuff. That's perfect.
The company. I've heard rumors. I can't confirm or deny anything. I don't have any tangible evidence, but I've heard stuff that it could be investigated.
This guy could be a pretty alright actor. Well, he would be a one-role actor, but he would be an okay actor.
Let go for sexually assaulting some very young people.
It's like this simpering kind of dude.
Jimmy didn't know, or that Jimmy was covering stuff up. He didn't want stuff to come out. You know, he's very careful about his image. You know, the tangible proof that he knew but covered it up. You know, how do you prove that, you know? Well, there was a known sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything.
Oh, now we're talking about this?
Okay.
And like you can
Delaware.
Someone pees in public, you're on the registry. You know, you get it. You can still have a job after you're on the. That's one thing. You know, you go to prison, you get rehabilitated. That's one thing. You know, if you do your
It
time,
actually doesn't really work that way, but okay.
Yeah, it's like okay, but sure, whatever. Just say what you have to say.
From what I hear, I can't confirm or deny. From what I hear, he's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people, and they knew that. He's working at a channel that has underage people on and around, and is targeted to underage people. And they
that is actually a little bit fucked up. Yeah, you got a point there.
Oh yeah. Well, we said before, it's like Jimmy's problem is like he chose the guy, but he didn't protect the information
identity
surrounding him.
You gotta keep it secret, man.
He is. He's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing? That you are a registered sex offender, and that your face could be looked up on a thing? How much more can you literally cover up a sex offender with a physical mask? Like, do I have to? Is it more on the nose, or I don't know why they let him go, because there's rumors back and forth. You know, so I don't know why they let him go, but he did leave at one point. Even if that guy didn't do anything, they still
Huh?
knew about it and he was still around. And what if he's one of the people in the Discord servers? What if he's not? I don't know. But when I was there, they called him Delaware. It's like, why do you call him Delaware? And I didn't know. Apparently, they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. That's his nickname? Colloquially?
It's pretty hilarious if it's true. That's actually really funny.
Yeah.
And Jimmy knew about him? The likelihood that he didn't know is astronomically low.
Okay, so finally I have a recorded phone conversation. The person on the other end of this line is a different former MrBeast employee talking about Delaware. Also, apparently before this phone conversation got recorded, the person on the other end of the line said that the MrBeast team was actually trying to expunge Delaware's record off the registry.
Wait,
Actually, like, sparked this person to start recording.
Interesting.
Sorry, I meant
Jimmy is trying to take action.
Trying to expunge Delaware's record
Ah.
off the registry.
Okay, now I
That's
see.
what he's trying to do.
This person to start recording.
Is this aliens calling from Alpha Centauri?
What the fuck? Is this like the secret extra track on a Nirvana album? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. You have such great evidence. Why do you have to like be so secretive about it?
Jimmy's gonna come and get me, man.
Wouldn't it be funny if like the CIA is actually involved in all this shit?
That would be pretty funny.
It's not impossible now that I think about it.
Gambling to children and don't have offenders on payroll.
Maybe it's not even unlikely.
It seems
Jimmy has enough money and enough influence
I know that's I'm sure
that
the defense
it's
will go with,
plausible.
so I'll just say preemptively.
Yeah, he might be of interest.
If somehow Jimmy didn't know about Delaware, I think it's still such an extreme level of negligence. Like, what, you're not doing background checks. You're not. Everyone at your company knows. But somehow
We're
you don't
saving
know.
money. We're
What the
saving
fuck do you
money.
think about, You think Mr. Beach is an HR, you idiot? Not exactly.
The thumbnail team also has to check backgrounds.
Yeah.
Lawyers and PR people and representatives and spokespersons and on how you could have not known that there was an offender at a high level in your company. And while you're responding to that, why not just respond to the allegations of rigging contest videos and selling fake signatures, running illegal lotteries, you know, the dangerous conditions on the set of Beast games. You should address.
Well, how do we know if you aren't on a sexual registry right now?
Former MrBeast employee Jakeweddle. I know he will be coming out with a.
I can't check out your info.
So I just wanted to shout him out. Jakeweddle, top link in the description.
All right.
Okay. I've waited a long time to talk about a lot of this publicly, so thank you for doing what you're doing.
How?
Why does this all look like Reno 911 right now?
How can this be real? How can this be real? Okay, does anyone else notice that this is insane? No one else is noticing that this is insane. Apparently this is just us. Apparently it's only us that noticed how insane this is. And look at these comments.
Yeah, they're just focused on the sex offender thing.
I mean, I get it, but this whole thing was insane.
Right, yes.
Doesn't anyone notice? This is insane. It's just... I'm not. We're not even taking sides. It's just like everything is insane. Everything is crazy here.
Yeah.
And no
Yeah,
one
it's a
seems to notice.
lot of psycho stuff.
I'm not even.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, there's nothing.
Oh, here someone says this is literally insane, but he doesn't. He doesn't say that the video we're watching is insane.
Right. Like it's everything about everything is insane. This interview, the guy he's interviewing, MrBeast, his whole stupid company, it's all just crazy nonsense.
Even the guy interviewing was kind of crazy at the end. Like I was
Oh,
seriously
yeah,
starting to think like, is this guy an agent? Like it's just
Yeah,
everything's
it was
off.
weird.
Everything's off. Are we still online? It's just I don't. It's
Pretty
like
sure we are.
yeah, it's like jeez. I don't even know. I don't know what reality is anymore, you know? Like what
Yeah. Yeah, what
It's
did I
just-
just watch? What, what's going on?
Mr. Beast, you've blown my mind today. Like let's go back to the list, I guess. So let's reassess here. So this apparently is not even the craziest part. This is whatever. This is
Yeah, if it's
whatever.
that iceberg pick, that's like number one. That's the iceberg that you could see. And then you just keep going down further under the water.
Yeah, so this is where we start getting to the real shit. These two stories are apparently they're linked, is what we found out, and they're both absolutely insane, absolutely crazy. Jake Weddle, like the funniest thing is like this Jake Weddle, he just wants views on his, he just wants views on his channel.
That's all he wanted. He wanted a shout out.
Dude, apparently this is how we get to 50,000. We have like 2,500. This we go and get tortured by MrBeast to get to 50K. Is this what the world is telling us? This is how you do it. we got to become a sleeper CIA agents to get big. No, not big, but views.
I can't even write my YouTube name on a whiteboard.
But like they have
During
video.
my solitude.
They have video editors. It's
Yeah.
it's just like, you know, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
That whole video was crazy. That was crazy.
It's just all insane.
I think we need a 5-minute break to reassess what we just saw. Holy shit! Holy shit!
I need a 5-minute break to reassess my life.